win A. Skype N. Skype colon D. C-A-L-L. Call left bracket 3:31:45 p.m. right bracket Denise Robinson colon go ahead and call. R-U-T-A-E-Y-U-F-E-A-D-Y lady. Left bracket 3:32:08 p.m. right bracket Denise Robinson colon are you there young lady? Left bracket 3:31:07 p.m. right bracket Callie Rainwater colon K. Skype colon alt page up. Conversation.
Hello, my dear.
Hello. Hi.
And my other dear.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, Kaylee, go ahead and just share your computer through Skype.
Menu, call, R, menus, conversation, list, new, Caitlin Richards, offline, 5 to 11. Historical fiction, book report, print to edit.
Now, Kaylee, I have been noticing you have been hanging up through your call, which is fine, but Alt page down will immediately hang up on us. Okay?
Do what?
Alt page down. Alt page up answers the call, and Alt page down hangs up. Yeah, it's just a faster way versus going up to the call and then hanging up that way. So today, I want you to do Alt page down when you hang up on me. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead and let's take a look at our newspaper.
Unsinkable Titanic sails to America, Microsoft Word.
Well, that looks awesome.
Oh, that's beautiful. You know what I'm thinking, Kaylee, is most newspapers have the date on them. So I'm thinking under the title, don't you think we should probably put the date on this newspaper?
Yes.
That sounds like a question.
That sounded like a question.
Yeah, that is a question.
Yes.
You know what? Think about it while we take a look at this. Okay, go ahead and up arrow. Let me take a look at your paragraph.
Section 1 page 1 text column 1 text columns.
Okay, and then just do control down arrow. Let's jump one paragraph at a time.
Section 2 page 1 2 text columns. Secrets of the Titanic. Engineer Thomas Andrews has many secrets about his unsinkable ship. However,
Got that. Keep going.
Patty.
Okay, Patty's what I want to take a look at. Okay, Patty seems to have the largest secret on the Titanic. Only 15, he came from the streets of Belfast, England, deserted by his parents, having to survive on his own. Stealing gets him in trouble, terrible trouble, knocked out, and somehow ends up on the Titanic. Many would admire Patty because he found a way to survive in a harsh environment on his own. With great intelligence, he figures out how to steal a steward's uniform so he can walk around freely on the ship. Okay, keep down arrowing.
Awful life.
An awful life. If you picture a bad life, the Titanic days fit. Fit, not fits. So go ahead and get rid of that S on fit.
If you picture a bad life, Titanic days, Titanic days, period. S.
Okay? If you picture a bad life, the Titanic days fit. Back then, there were no shelters or programs to help people who don't have a home or don't have things like food or clothing. Now, does don't sound better than didn't? Now let me read it with didn't. Back then, there were no shelters or programs to help people who didn't have a home or didn't have things like food or clothing. Now let me read it with don't in it. Back then, there were no shelters or programs to help people who don't have a home or don't have all things like food or clothing.
Didn't sound better.
Okay, go ahead and control right arrow and find don't and change it to didn't. Now, but the thing is, Kaylee, you've been using the didn't the tense, but in this paragraph, because I can also see. Well, let's keep reading because you just want to keep the same tense throughout. Okay.
Don't selected. D-I-D-N. Apostrophe T. Didn't. A, O, comma, or, don't, have, fix, have, don't, O. Don't selected.
Is that didn't also?
Correct.
D-I-D-N. Apostrophe T. Didn't.
Yeah, we just want to keep the same tense throughout the whole newspaper. Okay, things like food or clothing. There was no technology to make some things easier for us. People who couldn't see or that had other disabilities could not do anything. The worst thing is, we need to get rid of that comma on thing. So just down arrow till you hear the worst thing.
Titanic days.
Oops.
Oops, that's okay. Just up arrow. Control up arrow. Control up arrow. It'll jump you by paragraphs. There you go. Now down arrow to the worst thing.
Other disability, anything, the worst thing is that. And blank. That is comma. Tick, comma.
There you go.
Space, comma.
The worst thing is that people treated other people. Okay, down arrow.
People treated other people.
Keep going. Down arrow.
Next column 2. Bottom of 5. Titanic days.
Differently by if you were rich or not. Treat you differently. By if or whether if you were rich or not. I want you to just think about it. All of these things and more make it an awful to live in the Titanic days. An awful time, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and up arrow to awful.
Make it awful to live in a.
Okay, go ahead. Awful time to live. Yeah.
Make it awful.
Insert up arrow, listen to the sentence.
All of these things before make it awful to live in the Titanic days.
Okay, make it an awful to live in the Titanic days. Where are we missing a word?
Awful and awful. T-I-M-E. Time.
Good. Okay, that's really nice, Kaylee. And we'll continue to tweak this to make this exactly as she wants. Okay, let's alt-tab back to the directions.
Historical fiction with report compatibility. Bottom of 5. Field read blank. Announces union with Austria 5 points. Blank. Bullet announces union with Austria. Bullet create a timeline of major historical events. Blank. This bullet article explaining whether you would or would not want to live during history. Blank.
So this is
Bullet
the
create a
next
timeline of
one.
major historical events of the time March 12, 1938 Germany. Announces
Okay,
union with-
create a timeline of major historical events of the time, such as March 12th, Germany, annotation. Okay. Do you have your book in Word or just in Duxbury?
I don't know.
You know what? Just open it in Duxbury, translate it for me, and get it into Word so we can start copying down the timeline.
U-N-S-I-N-K-A-K-K-L-E. Escape.
Where would I put it?
I would type in Titanic, probably.
T-I-E-T-S-A-N-I-T. Okay, fine.
There you go.
Titanic 2. Titanic.
Which one?
There you've got collision course. I would. Isn't this Titanic 1? Oh, down arrow. Keep going down to your files. You have to remember this is down to files. Down. Down.
Titanic 1
Go down to Duxbury. 2 more.
Titanic 1 unsinkable.
There you go. And then we'll translate it into words. So go ahead and open that.
For Jaws Tandem, US interface. Import file dialog. Template extended. Select list. Enter. Warning dialog. Page template key space. The Duxbury Braille translator Titanic. Top of file. Titanic 1 unsinkable.
Okay, go ahead and do your magic. Translate it. Get it into Word for me.
Unsinkable. TXT. Regarding provision. Write this domesticate. Attention. Copy selections of clipboard. Menu search. W-O-R-D. Word enter. Limit menus. Document pasted from clipboard. Page 78.
Okay, get to the home. Get to the top of your document. Okay, so now we need to create a timeline. Let's go ahead and control down arrow to jump a paragraph at a time until we hear our first date, which is the start of the book.
Search for the paragraph. Bonus. This accessible media is title Titanic author North copyright list. This bonus is not push share this access to accessible post authors page 2. You agree to indemnify harmless for many attorneys. You are permitted of this material.
You know, I would hit page down. Oh,
Get 60,
here's the
120, or
begin,
400
the
loads.
content. Hit page down so we jump at least a page at a time. Yeah, we're still in the cover. Page down. Let's jump the bigger. Okay, we're getting there. There we go. Okay, so up arrow. Let's see the title of this chapter. Okay, so here's the prologue. Do you want to do anything off of the prologue, or do you want to wait until? Yeah, down arrow. Listen to the date, and then we'll see if it matches up with a chapter 1.
RMS Arcadia. Page 4, Monday, April 15th, 1912, 9:30 a.m.
Okay, so it starts April 15th, so this is way before, the Titanic even sails. So go ahead now and let's listen to the date.
Panel.
Wednesday, March 27th,
So
1912.
that
Who
even
held?
starts before. So that's truly what we need to select and copy. And then you're going to give a brief synopsis of what occurs on this date. Okay? Because we're going to do a timeline now in your book. Do you understand what a timeline is, Kaylee?
So, we're gonna have to do the whole book.
Well, we don't have to do every single date, but we definitely want the beginning date of the book because your teacher is going to wonder why you're not talking about the Titanic sinking. This timeline is going to show her that it starts before they leave, and then just a few days into the Titanic, it hasn't sunk yet. The timeline is going to help her understand that. So we can pick and choose the dates, but you definitely want the starting date, and you definitely want your ending date, and then you can choose the significant dates in between. Okay? Okay. Do you want the whole Wednesday, March 27th, 1912, 2:12 p.m.?
No.
Okay. Pick the part of the date you want.
March. March selected. 27. Select. Comma select. 1912. Selected. Comma selected. Comma unselected.
Okay?
Copy selection from clipboard.
Okay, that's going to be our first.
Should put report compatibility. Mode alt tab. Unthinkable Titanic.
Okay, so we need to a down arrow, and this is going to be another part of the article. So we need a subtitle. What kind of subtitle do you want to put in here? And remember, you're writing a newspaper. It has to be interesting. So you need to put something like, if you're interested in following the daily events of what's going on, but you have to sum it up very, very succinctly in that title. But basically, you need to tell people this is the timeline of exciting events on the Titanic or something like that.
Okay.
E.
Or not just on the Titanic, but the story of the characters involved on the Titanic. Because right now, it's not really all about the Titanic yet. It really is about Patty and the cohorts, the four main people. So think about that. Maybe exciting events of the people on the Titanic.
E. X. C. I. T.
But you don't have to use my words. You can choose whatever title you want.
D. A. T. T. A. D.
Dates is good. Dates or events. Remember, you can type in events and then hit your applications key for another synonym too.
O. F. T.
You could also put of the manifest, right? Bring in another nice big word that you learned. We like those big words, don't we?
Yes.
Especially if you have to type them out 10 times, man, and come up with sentences for them.
What do you mean?
You put whatever title you want. This is your newspaper.
Exciting face of the. E. A. S. S. E. N. T. E. R.
There
S.
you go.
O. N. A. T. A. T. T. I. T. A. N. I. T.
Okay, you need to select that and give me, the 14 font, something fancy to make.
Font dialog. Font page. Font. A. Agency of E. Arrow E. Tab. Font style and combo. Bold. To set the value. Use the arrow keys. Tab. Size and combo. 12. To set the value. 14.
Okay?
Print.
Hey, can I underline that too?
Absolutely. This is your newspaper. You can do anything you want. Okay?
And.
Okay.
Enter. Enter.
And
By
then
Colin
change your
Joseph
font
Potter is
back.
online.
Control E. Font dialog. Font page. Font 10 combo. Version T. I. M. E. S. Times the Roman.
Oh, wait, I
Do you want
wasn't.
Times or Courier?
C. O. U. Who version U. Tab. Font style and combo. Bold. To set the value. Tab. Size and combo. 14. To set the value. Use the arrow keys. 12.
Do you want bold on that or do you want regular font, Kaylee?
Well, I did all the other ones in bold.
Okay, okay. Okay, so that's going to be our first date we need to paste. So go ahead and paste that date.
Paste it from clipboard.
You better do a Control-T to change it to the font of your newspaper. So hit your Control key.
That's 5.91667 inches from left. 2.95.
No. I'm going to show you how to do this. Do a Control-Z.
Undo.
Undo again.
Undo.
Okay, do a Control-V to paste.
Paste it from clipboard.
Now hit your Control key, Kaylee.
Menu key
Now
for formatting
hit
text.
T.
Press upper
T for text.
T. Leaving menus. Print 2. Edit.
There you go. Now you just need to get rid of the underline though. So go ahead, yeah, and then get rid of the underline. Beautiful. Okay, so whenever you copy and paste from another document, that's how you get it into the document's font immediately. You just hit your Control, hit T for text. Now go ahead and put a dash.
Dash.
Okay, so you need to sum up what occurred, with Patty and Daniel and Andrews on this date. So just sum it up the best you can.
Did that happen in the first chapter?
Well, you need to Alt-Tab back and quickly listen through it.
Historical fiction book report compatibility mode Microsoft Word. Print 2. Edit. Historical fiction book report. Alt-Tab. Document 1 Microsoft Word. Page 5. Document 1.
Just insert down arrow to give a quick listen to refresh your memory.
And he squared the jaw, rattling the teeth. The third more than the expected, more than the needed bird. He was immune to acting when he staggered backward into the man and announced to the coat. A slim white hand slipped out of the boy's ragged sleeve and found its way into the coat's patch pocket. It emerged a split second later. The small fingers deftly clutching a gold money clipped back with banknotes. That, too, disappeared. Flicked under his threadbare jacket. The man shoved him away, growling, "Keep your brawling for decent people." Boy, Patty's aggressive grin. He always enjoyed it when the dark held down dissecting them off with a stolen purse. By the time the rich gold realized he'd been robbed, Patty would be far away, counting the windfall. 6. All that remained was to finish the street theater and
Okay,
provide cover for
that's
the...
probably enough. Don't you remember now the basics of what Patty and Daniel were doing throughout here? What were they doing?
Stealing.
Yeah. So, because that is the start of Patty and Daniel getting into trouble and Patty ending up on the Titanic, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So sum that up the best you can in just a few words back on your newspaper.
Historical fiction book report compatibility mode by Alt-Tab. Unsinkable Titanic sails to America Microsoft Word. Unsinkable Titanic sails to America Microsoft Word. Print 2. Edit.
Let me see. How many words does it have to be?
You just write it and then we'll tweak it from there. Just get your ideas down first.
E. A. D. D. Y. Patty. A. N. D. N. D. A. N. E. L. L.
Go ahead and spell check it. Left back? Yeah.
Application. L. D. Double D. A. D. Double D.
Yep.
D. Double D. Leaving menus. Print 2. Edit.
Give that word to me 10 times, please, for homework tonight.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you know the rules, don't you?
Spell Patty and Daniel. N. Whack. S. T. E. A. L. Steel. F. R. O. N. From. A. N. N. I. N. T. O. R. T. A. N. T. Important. M. A. N. Man, period.
Great. Do you want to put Patty and Daniel still from many, but worst from a really important man, which ends up getting them inevitably in trouble? Of course, don't use my words, but do you want to just put Patty and Daniel steal from an important man? You know what? We can come back to it. You can put, because they were stealing for a lot of people. And this is where you hear about their principles also, about how they decide who they're going to steal from. So I just want you to think about that more. Let's Alt-Tab back. Let's get the next important date.
Enter. Alt-Tab. Document 1 Microsoft Word. Page 5. Document 1 Microsoft Word. Print 2. Edit.
Okay, so let's hit page down. Let's skim quickly.
Page 6. Banknotes worth 1. See that person. Money. Page 7. Daniel read his red slide. With an almost imperceptible signal to his red heel. Whack. Page 8. Just before the main gate, Andrew suddenly wheeled on it. Interested books and newspapers that bewildered Patty at first. Why is the rest too? One could envision an accident that would do more. Stop bothering Mr. Andrews. Page 5. Patty and Candles took their walk after he was gone, astonished at such a trait.
Since these are in chapters, we can probably do the find command for chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, which is going to be faster. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this date.
Control shift down arrow selected. Friday, March 29th.
You know what, Kaylee? I think we probably need to put